Why, hello everyone, welcome back to PlayFrame, welcome to Story Mode, and of course, welcome to Kugane. Yes, we've gotten ourselves across the sea finally, and we are ready to start stoking the fires of rebellion elsewhere. But first, I think we need to start getting acquainted with this new location. It's a big town, and there's lots to see. So, let's get right to it. Alphino, are you ready? Despite traveling halfway around the world, Alphino is in no mood to take in the sights. Oh, come on. Just look around you, boy. Do you see? Turn your head around and see what all is back there. We're taking in sights. I don't care what you say. Glad though I am to have arrived, I would remind you all that we are far from home, with limited resources at our disposal. Duly noted, brother. I shall take care not to enjoy myself. See, this one gets it. In any event, Doma is our final destination, and our first order of business should be to secure passage there. Captain Carvelin, I realized you pledged only to take us as far as Kugane, and I have no desire to change the terms of our agreement. I should, however, be interested to know how you would go about reaching Ul'Dah were you in our position. At the risk of stating the obvious, you are in a port. Surely there is a kind and generous soul here who will aid you for the right price? You cannot be the first traveler seeking passage to Doma. The captain makes a good point. 'Tis like that Yugiri and Gosetsu were forced to come here for the selfsame reasons we were. Oh, it's raining now. Well, isn't that just always the way? They must have found a way to Ul'Dah, assuming they're not still in the city. Ere we seek passage, mayhap we should first seek our friends. Leave it to me, Alphino. Making friendly inquiries is my specialty. Lest you forget, I got plenty of practice in Ishgard. Captain Carvelin, could you direct us to the nearest tavern? Desperate for a drink, are we? You may find one in that large building just beyond the pier. Whether your journeys have come to an end or are about to begin, the Shiokaze hostelry is an ideal place to rest, relax, and reflect. Or so they say. And with that, my dear scions, I bid you farewell. As soon as we have replenished our supplies, we must away. Ours was ever a fast-moving business. The spice trade, you mean? But of course. Surely you did not think I traveled halfway around the world and delivered you to your destination solely out of the kindness of my heart. Perish the thought. Thank you, Captain, and may the Navigator watch over and keep you. Thanks for the boating. Right then, to the hostelry? After you. Yeah, come on, guys, let's get out of the rain. Lovely.
By the 12. I thought Ishgard remarkable, but this... We are certainly not in Eorzea anymore.
A tavern is a tavern, Alphino, here or anywhere else. Now, if you'll excuse me, it's time to do what I do best.
Oh, 1,000 pardons, my lady. The signs of the 7th dawn, I presume. I hope your voyage was not too trying.
And you are?
Ah, yes, of course. Forgive me. Hancock of the East Ul'Dah Trading Company, at your service. On behalf of Chairman Lolorito, I bid you welcome to Kugane and invite you to take refreshments at our local offices.
Lolorito? I was aware his interests extended beyond the borders of Eorzea, but not so far as Kugane. Regardless, I am disinclined to accept the hospitality of grinning merchants, especially those who serve a master with whom we have such a difficult relationship.
My, such naked suspicion. I do hope that business with the Crystal Braves did not rob you of all faith in your fellow man. Or do you really think the chairman is plotting to drag you into another one of his grand schemes?
I mean,
I beg your pardon? If you are trying to win my trust, you are failing quite spectacularly.
Oh dear, have I offended you? Once again, I must apologize. Too much time in the Far East, you see. One is compelled to talk in circles round everything here, and one finds oneself longing for the invigoratingly candid speech of the Ul'Dah markets. Though I see now that this was neither the time nor the place to indulge said longing.
boy, Tataru is having none of this guy's nonsense.
Might I suggest that we continue this conversation at the company offices? Too many eyes and ears here, you understand. 'Twould be decidedly reckless to say any more.
If I may favor you with the invigorating candy you apparently crave, it would be decidedly reckless to follow a man I neither know nor trust. Give me one good reason why we should accept Lord Lolorito's invitation.
Now there's the young diplomat I was told to expect. Very well then, I shall explain. You understand that you are come to a most reclusive and secretive nation, yes? One whose borders are close to foreign trade save at this single port. Then it should come as no surprise that a great many parties have vested interests here. Merchants like myself are a given, of course, but for every one of us, you may be certain there is also an agent of a foreign government. Many notable nations and empires have embassies here, you know, including, of course, the Garlean Empire, with whom you have such a difficult relationship.
To paraphrase, Kugane is teeming with Imperial spies, one or several of whom could now be listening to our every word.
Something to that effect, yes. Beneath this veneer of bustling trade, a war for supremacy is being waged between world powers. One might say we were standing on the front lines, just not in public.
I still have my doubts, but he may have a point. I say we accept his invitation for now.
Well, okay. I suppose so. I kind of like that normally, in most scenarios, I would expect Alice to be the one of these two who, when faced with a representative of someone who has double-crossed us before and is in no way trustworthy, she would be the one to be immediately like, nope, not happening, we'll find another way. And Alphino would be the diplomat to be like, well, come on, we should at least try and hear them out. There might be something to our advantage here. We should see. But here in this case, since the past betrayals are very close and somewhat personal to Alphino, Alphino is much more the one who's like, absolutely not. And Alice is the one who's willing to see reason in temporarily at least engaging with this character. Heck, we just very recently, they sailed off, but we just very recently saw Alice being like immediately no to the pirate who we were needing to get a ride from. I'm like, it's very in character that they're sort of filling opposite roles in this particular engagement. How you doing? Forgive me. The mere mention of the East Aldenard Trading Company is enough to... I'm fine, truly. You need not worry. No, you'll be okay. I don't trust him one bit, and neither should you. I agree. I dare say Alphino has met his match. So there are Imperial spies everywhere. Great. Just great. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what we expected, but... And you must be Dermot Durrami, slayer of gods, rider of dragons, savior of Ishgard, stealer of pants, if some of the more puzzling rumors are to be believed. Hey, I was given every single one of those pants fair and square. I'll have you know. I knew it. May I say what an honor and a pleasure it is to make your acquaintance, good sir. I just know you and I are going to get along famously. Now then, without further ado, allow me to escort you to the company offices. this being your first visit to our fair city, I shall make an effort to point out various landmarks along the way. If you would be so good as to follow me. Okay. Lead on. Let's get a look at the place. Raining still, but still gorgeous. Yeah, they're just getting better and better at making big, lovely cities to operate in and wander around. So, you see a character perched up here. This is worth stopping to briefly comment on, just because it's a system that we're not really going to engage in at all in this story-focused playthrough. So there's a system, kind of like a side activity in Final Fantasy XIV called the Sightseeing Log. It's a thing that started out, or at least it's unlocked in A Realm Reborn. I don't know when they added it to the game, but it's a thing where you basically go and try to find and reach various points of interest in each environment or town or area, and maybe do a certain emote in that spot, and that will add that particular spot to your little sightseeing log. They tend to be places that can be either tricky to get to, or it can be tricky finding exactly where those spots are or where they're referring to. In the A Realm Reborn days, you had to do some trickier stuff like getting there at specific time of day or in specific weather, just really a pain in the butt. But just as often, they will treat these sightseeing log things not just as a challenge of, like, finding a place, but of getting to it. This is one of the most notorious in the entire game. Once you've unlocked the sightseeing log for Stormblood, you will see a little shiny spot right up here saying, well, here is one of your spots to sightsee from. You cannot jump to that spot from anywhere down here. No. If you want to get up to that spot and add it to your log, you need to go in here, go up those stairs and around, and then go outside and then up on the roof. Well, maybe you can do it right up there. Jump off that balcony, go around the roof, jump up several things up to this layer, jump up several things up to this layer, jump up several things up to this layer, and on and on and on and on and on, till you get up darn near the top, and then you jump. And if you manage to land right there, congrats, you add it to your log. It's hard, it's difficult just getting up to a place to jump from, much less actually landing the jump. So, being able to stand up there is worth taking some pride in, if you can pull it off. I've never pulled it off. Granted, I haven't tried a whole lot of times, but it's quite a thing. Anyway, sorry. I believe I've already attuned to everything here in town between sessions, but just to, yep, good. Just to play it safe. Don't want to forget, don't have to ride a boat all the way out here again. Even the Aetherites look different here. They do, don't they? I do love they do that. I say, what is that smell wafting from yonder tea house? Could it be... Yes, could it just possibly be the scent of whispered secrets waiting to be overheard? Oh, you're excited. You're in your element. Or about to be. I note that our would-be host has elected to dress in the local fashion. He has, hasn't he? I guess that makes sense. I do not like the cut of that man's jib. Not one bit. That's okay, Alphino. You don't have to. Nor should you, really. Everyone, if I could have your attention, please. You are now standing in Tinkonton. Loosely translated, the name means Spire of Drifting Souls, which, as some of you may have deduced, makes reference to the Aetherite, which stands over yonder. The design is markedly different from those of Charlian, yet I trust its function is identical. A diplomat and a scholar. Will wonders never cease? Far Eastern Aetherite technologies have a long and storied tradition, I assure you. This particular example was constructed by the Onishishu, a collective of skilled craftsmen who guard their ancestral techniques with the utmost secrecy. In short, you will find it no less reliable than its Western counterparts. Attune, if you like. Already done. Thank you. Just wanted to make sure. Hancock would like very much to continue talking. I sense that. Go ahead. Beautiful though it may be, we cannot spend all day staring at the Aetherite. Come, let us move along. The markets are next. Lead on. Whew. Gorgeous. But yes, here we are at the markets. Also lovely. Be still my heart. Well, well. I would expect no less of a bustling port. No sign of Gasetsu or Yugiri here. Not that I expected to stumble across them just like that, though it would have been nice. It would have been nice, wouldn't it? Something going easily for once. Just look at all these garish designs. Not fond of subtlety, are they? Is that a theater over there? LSA, sister, I'm afraid you wield a rapier that is made of glowing pink crystal all the time. I don't know if garishness is a criticism you are allowed to level anywhere else. But you do you. We have arrived at the largest shopping district in Kugane, Kogane Dori. Kugane, as you are doubtless unaware, is an ancient Hingan word for gold. So, in this prosperous port where golden fortunes are made, lesser fortunes, or kogane, are earned by the local merchants. It's all quite logical once you learn the language. Now you're beginning to speak my language. Oh, a kindred spirit. What a pleasure it is to meet a young lady who appreciates the value of hard-won coin. I see you two are going to be just the best of frenemies. Hancock of the East Ul'Dah Trading Company. You are with clients today. Why, if it isn't Master Kaiten? Pray allow me to introduce to you my esteemed guests, but recently come from distant Eorzea. This kind and generous soul supervises all transactions here in Kogane Dori. Your sincerity is ever appreciated. As he says, I am Kaiten of the Hakuchi clan, and it is my honor to serve as overseer of these markets. As we receive many foreign visitors in Kugane, we accept all manner of currencies. Rest assured, your Eorzean gil are welcome here. I invite you to peruse our wares at your leisure. Thank you. I just might. Arms, armor, foodstuffs, potables. Here you'll find all of them and more. I suppose I am appreciating the tour. All right, where to next? Ah, here we are. The district up ahead has a different air about it. Don't think I haven't memorized every detail of that street. There's at least half a dozen shops that'll soon be enjoying my custom. I'm glad we have you along, Tataru. We're actually quite far from the docks now, aren't we? The place is bigger than I thought. It is very large. Where to next, I wonder? If we may pause here for a moment. This road leads to the Ijingai, the district in which Ijin, or foreigners, are permitted to reside. Would this also be where the foreign embassies are found, including that of a certain empire? Precisely. So you see, it would not be at all unusual to cross paths with one of our Garlean cousins here. With this in mind, I would encourage you to choose your words carefully. We would not want any physical altercations, after all, such spats being strictly forbidden. The Sekiseigumi punish breaches of the peace quite severely. I have seen foreigners permanently exiled for a single violation. Though, to be fair, this is not common. More often than not, they are executed on the spot. Well, cut down then and there. You're joking, right? Would that I were, but alas, these samurai are a humorless lot. Why, I recall one instance when a foreign merchant in his cups dared lay hands upon a Hingan aristocrat in front of a Sekiseigumi. The samurai cut him in half with a single stroke. Ugh, I don't even want to think about that. So, as you see, it would behoove you to behave. Failing that, we may be forced to part ways with one another, or you with yourselves, in the manner of the late Teleji Adeleji. how I amuse myself. But we must carry on. I've yet to show you the Garlean consulate. Well, guess it was kind of funny. Ah, I think I can perhaps see it from here. It does sort of put off a distinct vibe, huh? A little bit. Some might call it unwise to loiter outside the gates of a hostile empire's consulate. So that building's full of Garleans. Danger, excitement, intrigue, oh my. Compared to the Hingan architecture, this seems drab and uninspired. Or mayhap I've simply had my fill of Garlean aesthetics, such as they are. Yeah. Fair, but also same. This, as you may have surmised, is the consulate of you-know-who. Mark the guards at the gate. Are their uniforms not different from those you've seen in the West? They are a little bit, slightly different style. Similar vibes, though. Were you to travel far and wide, you would find that many such variations exist, often inspired by local designs. All of which goes to show that even a massive empire seeking to rule all of creation is not without its artisans. Yeah, I guess. Hancock seems to be quite pleased with himself. There's oh so much more I could speak of. The soothing waters of the onsen, the ephemeral delights of the pleasure district, but you are doubtless still weary from your long sea voyage. Let us retire to the company offices. Okay. I will feel more comfortable not standing right here in front of the Imperial gates. This, I believe, is the place. They've even got a Ul'Dah, a guard in Ul'Dah uniform outside, saying 'tis good to see a fellow Eorzean. That's fun. Ah, the unmistakable scent of wealth and power. Even though this feels just as out of place as the Garlean consulate, it's a lot more comforting. It is closer to home, I suppose. There's no denying this place was built for an Ul'Dah. It does sort of have Ul'Dah energy to it, doesn't it? I dare say we could travel to Mericidia or the New World and find a man like Hancock waiting for us. I'm beginning to get that sense also. At long last, we arrive at our destination. May I present to you our humble offices? We have much to discuss, so I will refrain from further prattle. Come, right this way.
Our thaumaturges took great pains to ward these walls against all manner of surveillance. Where business dealings are concerned, we do not compromise on confidentiality. You may avail yourselves of these offices for the duration of your visit. Come and go as you like, and know that you may speak freely here.
Your offer is most generous, but I will not enter into any agreement which would leave us beholden to you or your master.
A legitimate concern. Allow me to clarify then. The chairman bids you consider this as an expression of his heartfelt contrition for the bloody banquet and the unpleasantness which followed. Never having been one to put stock in words alone, the chairman deems the provision of material aid to be a more appropriate demonstration of his sincerity. By sheer coincidence, your purpose here also happens to coincide with our own interests. That is, assuming you are come to aid the Doman Liberation Front.
How could... I will not bother to offer a denial. You have the right of it. To be specific, we are come in search of our Far Eastern allies, Yugiri and Gosetsu, whom we hope to assist in their fight.
The Auri Shinobi and the Rugadan Samurai? Then you will be pleased to know that they have both come to Kugane.
Are you sure?
Quite. They came here aboard a company vessel, you see. However, they encountered difficulties securing passage across the Ruby Sea.
The Ruby Sea.
Sorry, I've never been any good at geography.
Forgive me. This calls for a map. We are here in Kugane, the sole open port of Hingashi, situated on her western coast. Doma, meanwhile, is here on the eastern coast of Otherd in Yansha. Therefore, if your friends are to reach Doma, they must first cross the Ruby Sea. Alas, this is easier said than done, as the Ruby Sea does not fall within the dominion of either Hingashi or Doma, being controlled since antiquity by a third party, namely the Confederacy. Said maritime collective is known for the consummate skill of its sailors, and for demanding that any vessel entering its waters pay a toll referred to as the Ruby Tithe. In exchange, the Confederacy's vast fleet guarantees the safety of those who travel within its territory. Now, as I'm sure you are aware, Garlemald conquered Doma some 25 years past, at which time the Empire saw no value in controlling the Ruby Sea, and thus did they turn a blind eye to the activities of the Confederacy. The recently appointed acting Imperial Viceroy of Doma had other ideas, however. She has formally condemned the Confederacy and declared that any who recognize their authority shall be branded enemies of the Empire.
I'm really glad that they started using maps more often, both for demonstrating where we are traveling to in this bigger world-hopping expansion that we're kind of going through, but also to sort of help provide some visual aids to the sort of like political dynamics happening between these various lands. It provides some larger context that is helpful.
Bowing to this pressure, Hingashi severed ties with these toll-takers and forbade the payment of the Ruby Tithe, prompting the Confederacy to make it known that any merchants choosing to sail the Ruby Sea would do so at their peril.
No wonder they struggled to secure passage to Doma. What captain would risk such a journey given the circumstances?
I am told your friends were not so easily deterred from their course, but I know not whether their persistence bore fruit.
I say we follow in Yugiri and Gosetsu's footsteps and attempt to secure passage to Doma for ourselves. We will need to cross the sea in any case, and we may learn something of their whereabouts in the process. And should we find that they are still in Kugane, we can make the journey together.
In that case, I have some information which may be of use to you. No quid pro quo, I assure you. The chairman was most insistent that I aid you to the best of my ability.
Now how can you not trust that smile? I'm not sure how I imagined our first time in the Far East unfolding, but it definitely didn't involve Uldahs, and especially not these Uldahs. Still, whatever works, right? Yeah, I guess so. He was not exaggerating when he spoke of their wards' efficacy. Whoever wove them did so with consummate skill. Oh, this place takes me back. It reminds me of the workshop of an Ul'Dah lapidary I once served. I must confess, I'm an avid collector of all things Far Eastern. See for yourself, I insist. No, I could tell. I had come to that conclusion on my own, thank you. Though I'm reluctant to take any action whatsoever that could be construed as placing ourselves in Lord Lolorito's debt, we must avail ourselves of what means are available. Our Alamegan allies placed their faith in us, and I do not intend to disappoint them. That's sensible. Well, I'm with you. Alphino is a man with a plan. Oh, good. I didn't have one. It would seem inefficient for us all to venture out together in search of information on Yugiri and Gosetsu's whereabouts. Agreed? Agreed. We need to cast our net wider, split up and pursue all available avenues of inquiry. But if we're to coordinate our efforts effectively, we'll need to establish a working base of operations here. Indeed, Tataru would seem best suited to the task of organizing our supplies and procuring new ones. And so enthusiastic. While she attends to that, we four can begin our search by questioning the individuals Hancock identified. Alice and I will take those in the southern districts of the city, and you two can take those in the north. In anticipation of just such an eventuality, I took the liberty of preparing some few sketches of Yugiri and Gosetsu during our voyage. Wow. Y'shtola warned me that you were a bit of an artist, but these are great. They'll definitely come in handy. They really are, bud. You are quite good at this. Looks like it's you and me, Derman. Let's step outside and talk about where to start. It's a plan. Let's go. Okay, let us begin the questioning. Wow, Alphino's sketches are so... I don't know how to put it, but they're very... Well, see for yourself. Oh, I did already, but... You may view Alphino's sketch at any time during this quest by using the relevant item in the key items menu. Well, I'll, have a look. Sure is good. He looks more like them than they do. Honestly, he could make a living doing this. Oh, sorry, no time for distractions. Why don't we start by visiting Karaku at the... Onsen? That was it. To the onsen. Now this I am excited to see. Still raining, of course. And I believe this is the place. Yes. Hello. Come one, come all. Burns, cuts, embarrassing rashes. There's not the mystical waters of the Bokaisen hot springs cannot heal. Oh, what is that in your hand? Well, a surprisingly accurate depiction of Yugiri and Gosetsu. Once again suggesting Alphino may have mistaken his life's calling. This little side talent of his is turning out very helpful. You seek this aura in this Rugadin, do you? 1,000 apologies, but I cannot help you. It is against our policy to divulge information regarding patrons past or present. Please, we came all the way from Eorzea to find our friends. We have our reputation to consider, miss. Men and women from all walks of life come here in search of rejuvenation, body and soul. They seek privacy and discretion, and we've ever honored their wishes. Only the Sekisegumi may demand otherwise. I'm sorry, but there is naught I can do. I suppose we'll just have to ask someone else then. What about that woman who runs the hostelry? Kotokaze, was it? Sounds good. And sorry to bother you. Have a good one. Actually, hang on. This is an onsen. I want to see... I think there's hot springs out here. Yes. Delightful. I really want to see the two old heads back at the Rising Stones showing up out here. going out for their little old guy vacation they've been discussing. I don't know if it actually happens. I'm just really hoping it does now. I'm gonna have to keep checking. Because they've been talking about it. Anyway. Looking for friends. Ah, here we go. Welcome, traveler. Can I interest you in some rice wine? Exceptional quality, delivered but the other day. I have a good photo for you to, well, not a photo, but a good picture drawing, that's the word, for you to look at instead. Ah, an Auri shinobi and a Rugadine samurai. If I may, I would answer your question with some few of mine own. If I speak of that which you know, Ijin, be not offended. You are familiar with the situation in the lands across the Ruby Sea? The doomed rebellion after 2.5 decades of quiet? I see. And you are familiar with the ways of Hingashi, how we elect to stand apart and support no cause but our own. Indifferent and callous, some may call us, but pragmatism is essential if a humble island nation such as ours is to survive. But we are not fools. Complete isolation is impractical, and so Kugane is open to Ijin, and we are equally hospitable to all. Or, if I must speak more plainly, yes, I can help you, but if I do, I must also oblige the ones who ask after you. Are you willing to accept this fair and equitable treatment? If anyone comes looking for us, tell them whatever you like. As you wish. The 2 individuals of whom you speak did indeed come here. They sought passage across the Ruby Sea. Few ships are willing to make the trip at the moment. Nevertheless, I made several introductions on their behalf. That was the extent of our interaction. I'll provide you with the names of the captains, if you like. Hey, that's a lead. You've been a great help, Mistress Kotokaze. I'll be sure to come back for that wine sometime. We would welcome your custom, miss. We should question these captains as soon as we can. You take the first 3, I'll take the rest, and we'll meet here when we've finished, all right? Good luck. You too. Okay, let me find some captains to talk to. Well, I see a boat, so we're in the right general area. That's a start. Any captains about? Aha! A meticulous merchant. Close enough. Have a drawing. Well, actually, no. I need it back, but look at drawing. Passengers. No, we no longer offer that service. Too much trouble. Now we only transport goods. I told this to the samurai and sent him on his way. The woman? Pah, if it's women you seek, the pleasure houses have plenty. Well, you are halfway helpful. Thank you. Let me go find another captain. Hello, any captains around? Hey, sun's coming up. And rain's still happening, but hey, captain. Here's a sketch. Do you recognize anyone? You ask me if I've seen this Auri woman and this Rugadine samurai. The woman is unknown to me, but the man is not. He was for Doma, but I could not help him. We travel solely between here and Radzatan. It would be an unreasonable detour. That's reasonable. But okay, people are seeing Gosetsu. This is promising. I need another captain. Ah, a captain. I've found you. Do you recognize anyone in this? Yes, a Rugadine gentleman did approach me. He wanted to charter a ship to take him across the Ruby Sea, the mad devil. I sent him away like all the others before him. The woman? Nay, I know her not. No one has seen Yugiri. Although she is a ninja, maybe she was just hiding the whole time. Whatever. Let's take these findings to Lise. Lise. I have some news. How did it... Oh, never mind. Judging from the look on your face, you didn't have much better luck than I did. Not especially. But that's okay. We will continue our search and probably have more luck next time. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you Wednesday for some more very pretty Kugane times and maybe less rain. I don't know, we'll find out. Take care until then, and goodbye!